What would you change about the estate agency industry, Lee? Talk to me.
Yeah, I think so. It's a great question. I definitely think we have a challenge to face in terms of regulation. I think that regulation and qualified estate agents would help in lots and lots of ways. I'm not sure whether the industry would embrace it. I think with that will come cost, and that cost at the moment will not be well received. But the professionalism of our industry is much needed, and I think the overall challenge that our industry is facing at the moment is in this transition from one of being actually really quite comfortable with how we did business for a long period of time to feeling disrupted by an online presence now in a estate agency and not really knowing what the future looks like.
Do you think high streets are resting on their laurels because of the likes of Russell Quirk failing with his agency? And again, it'll only be a matter of time before the likes of Purplebricks and Yoba pull the door too.
I think there is some of that being said, but actually I think that's the minority. I think what lots of people are starting to realise is that estate agency is a people industry, and estate agents have got to find better ways to present their services and products to consumers in a way that makes the consumer feel special. And there are lots of challenges within that because it's an emotional journey when you're selling and buying a house, and blame is often levelled at estate agents. Blame is often levelled at the person that's not responsible for the real issue, and estate agents have always found that quite challenging in my view. I certainly think that a vendor gazumping a seller because someone knocked on their door after a final and best offers process and asking the estate agent to phone the other people because he doesn't want to tell them that they're the kind of things that make estate agents' reputation very, very difficult to uphold in the way that estate agents want to.
What do you personally want to do to change? What can you do to change the industry? You've had some pretty big jobs. You're only 46. What are you going to do to change UK estate agency?
Yeah, so I'm still not sure what I'm going to do next. As we said previously, I've spent a great deal of the last 2 months laying on a beach and chilling out by a swimming pool and getting to know my children again. And I've got a few more beaches to lie on just yet. But later this year, I expect to get back into to estate agency, and I'll be looking at opportunities that allow me to really drive both the propositions that I've talked about. What is it going to take to be a brilliant employer in 2019 in estate agency, and what's it going to take to be a brilliant estate agent from a consumer's perspective in 2019. And if I find an opportunity that allows me to empower teams. Actually, I had a mission statement that I introduced in 2004, and I still talk about it today.
Go on.
And I'm sure there's lots of people who worked for me back in Dixon's at the time that can recite it. But I set out to kind of lead a team that was focused on recruiting high caliber individuals, and through structured and progression-focused development, empowering a workforce to achieve their own objectives. And for me, that still holds good today. Is that don't ask people to come to work to make me successful. Nobody gets up in the morning and says, let's do it for Lee. But actually, if as a leader I can come to work and say, let's create an environment where my people can achieve their personal goals. Let's create an environment where my people can be empowered to make a difference to themselves and to their consumers.
It almost feels like you work for them, not they work for you.
Servant leadership style, yeah, that's absolutely been something I've seen is the way to what I believe is the best route to creating high performing teams.
So what can you offer? What can you bring to the party that makes you different to anyone else?
I've got a little bit of estate agency experience.
Okay.
I definitely understand the customer journey, which is really important, I understand how technology is shaping its role in making the quality of service that an estate agency brings better. The digital street transformation of land registry is going to create further capability for consumers in property. I think that's fact. And then we've got the way that the world is looking at technology, and just share with you a short story on Echo Shoes, which is a rather dull shoe company from Holland that is more likely my grandfather would wear. And they've got an innovation division now in Amsterdam, and what they're looking at is the customer problem. The customer problem is that if your feet are size 8.6 or 9.4 or anywhere between, you get the same shoe. Mm-hmm. If you walk a mile a day or 10 miles a day, you get the same shoe. If you have a lean to the outside or a lean to the inside, you get the same shoe. And they're looking at how they can put a chip into someone's shoe and they can provide the customer with an 8.6 3D printed shoe that leans to the outside, that's ready to walk 10 miles a day. And for me, when I heard that story, it made me think that if a dull old man shoe company from Holland is thinking about how they use technology in that fashion, what does that mean to the future of real estate? What does that mean to estate agency businesses in the UK? And the human element to me is crucial and really important, and it has to do it better, and it's got to differentiate from drop-down box qualification, but using technology cleverly to make estate agency better for the consumer is what I bring to the table.
That's and you want to join a firm that allows you to do that and make a difference.
Yeah. Thank you.